Coming up on the Charge on Air, shutdown impacts remain at airports across the country. How a former UCF grad says the shutdown impacted her life as a TSA agent.
Plus, making sure everyone has food on the table during the holiday season. The UCF organization working to make sure students don't go hungry.
And later, an up-and-coming singer says UCF is making it harder for her voice to be heard. What campus organizers are doing to give local artists a platform.
In sports, Coach Johnny Dawkins is now in season 10 at UCF. What he has been able to accomplish and the pieces he may need for an 11th season.
The Charge on Air starts now. Good afternoon and welcome to the Charge on Air. I'm Isaac Abdelmessih.
And I'm John Warner. Today is Friday, November 28, 2025. We hope all of you Knights had a great Thanksgiving.
If you're planning on flying out of Orlando anytime soon, be prepared for delays and long lines. Though the government shutdown ended earlier this month, its after effects are being felt throughout airports around the nation. I had the chance to speak with a TSA agent on how she is still dealing with those impacts. As the tropical sound of a steel drum signals vacation time at Orlando International Airport, it's anything but a vacation for TSA agents who are still feeling the burden of the government shutdown.
So when we're talking about our accounts have reached zero. It has reached zero.
Tatiana Finley is a 2017 UCF graduate and the fair practice coordinator representing TSA officers stretching from Orlando to the Panhandle. She says this shutdown was worse than the one 6 years ago.
The impact has been worse than our shutdown in 2019, especially because we do have a lot of newer people that had no experience with what a shutdown was.
Even though the government shutdown is officially over, you can see long lines and crowded gates behind me right here at Orlando International Airport. Many passengers are starting to line up just to get through TSA checkpoints, and this is a theme that will continue to go on as the effects of the shutdown are still in effect. UCF student Catherine Yarbrough is traveling with her parents during Christmas break to see family in Ohio. She says that because of all the uncertainty from the shutdown, her family is working on a backup plan.
If our flight does get canceled, if it's good weather, we might try to drive up. If not, we'll have to cancel, unfortunately.
We are in this together and we will continue showing up and doing our work.
In Orlando, Isaac Abdelmessih, the Charge on Air. Airport officials say to download the Orlando MCO app to track wait times at security checkpoints. You can also visit the FAA's website to keep up on national airport events.
For students sticking to the road this holiday season, the Florida Highway Patrol is once again launching its Arrive Alive campaign. The department says with all of the stress of the season, drivers need to stay vigilant. Troopers want drivers to put away their cell phones and buckle up. They also want to remind drivers to stay patient and not engage with reckless drivers. Lieutenant Tara Krasinski says during the holidays, FHP sees an increase in drunk drivers.
And here in Florida, 1 in 3 traffic crashes are the result of an impaired driver. So that's why we want to express the importance of using rideshare services, making sure that you pick a sober driver before you head out to these festivities.
See any reckless drivers, FHP says you can report them by calling star 347. Not every student has a place to go or a table to sit at during the holidays. Charge on Air reporter Andrew Cherico shows how one campus ministry at UCF is stepping up to change that.
The Wesley Foundation at UCF is usually known for its weekly Wednesday night dinners, but students and community members packed the space for an international Thanksgiving meal free to anyone who came. Associate Director Charity Lopez says the goal goes beyond food. It's about creating community.
Tonight we wanted to be able to have a Thanksgiving dinner where everyone who can come and be able to build community, enjoy delicious foods. And we understand that not everybody can be able to go home and have a Thanksgiving meal or a place to go, so we wanted to be able to provide that.
As you can see, a long line behind me waiting to get some delicious grub. And this isn't any ordinary Thanksgiving drive. This is international with many different cuisines.
Making sure we're including everyone, making sure that no matter what background you are or what you believe or where you're at in life, that everyone has a place to go and that we can all feel included and we can all be able to build a community together. So that's really where the idea came from.
One of the many students helping make this dinner possible is Janaya Morovi. She's volunteering and isn't able to travel home for Thanksgiving. Places like Wesley give her a sense of belonging during the holiday season.
I think everybody who has any kind of food insecurity should know about this, or anybody who's looking for a community should know about this, because it's just so important to have a place where you can go once a week, because this isn't just about providing food, it's about providing community, providing a social space, providing somewhere you can just spend your Wednesday night hanging out for a little while too.
In Orlando, Andrew Cherico, Charge on Air.
While community nights are done for the semester, they will be back next spring. They meet every Wednesday at 5:30 at the Wesley Foundation building on East Plaza Drive near Addition Financial Arena.
Motor vehicle thefts on campus are on the rise, and it's not for the reasons you may think. Police say thieves are targeting highly popular e-bikes and scooters. I investigated what's behind the trend and show you how to protect your property. UCF student Micah Ritterod has to get ready and head down to class now earlier than usual.
I was just really mad and sad and everything that this happened to me, and I had the scooter for barely a month.
Someone stole Ritterod's e-scooter from outside his dorm in October, and he's not alone. UCF police reported an increase in these thefts for the past 2 years.
I think because of the category of motor vehicles, including bikes and scooters, it falls under motor vehicles, so I think that's why you're seeing a spike.
UCF's annual security and fire safety report shows 16 reports of motor vehicle theft on main campus in 2023. That number increased to 41 in 2024. And so far this year, UCF PD says there has been 27 total thefts and 1 arrest in 2025. As Micah had showed us before, he took his scooter chain, simply had the scooter already fit through it, and created about 1 loop around the scooter and the pole, and then latched it just like that. And as you can see here, it's a little loose, but still tight around the pole. Meanwhile, authorities also suggest people say something if they see something suspicious.
If anyone sees anyone acting suspicious, looking around bikes and pulling them and things like that, to call us.
Campus authorities recommend using a U-bolt lock, parking in well-lit designated areas on campus, and registering your vehicle with UCF PD. In the meantime, with no new leads in his case,
The scooter costs around like $500. I don't have that money to throw around, so I'm gonna try to avoid an electric vehicle.
Ritterod will keep walking to class and hoping his e-scooter turns up. In Orlando, Isaac Abdelmessih, The Charge on Air. You can register your vehicle with UCF PD, and they'll give you a special label to put on your vehicle. For more information, check out police.ucf.edu. We still have a little bit left to go in hurricane season, but this year has been quiet for Florida. Still ahead, how this compared to last year's forecast.
But first, making it harder to perform on campus. We investigate what's behind the crackdown on unregistered performances and what UCF says students should do if they want to break out as artists.
I don't remember how it started. Our back and forth. Victory. Fumble. repeat. It always came back.
Dad!
Okay, here we go, throw it!
Yeah.
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Nice.
When we have the food we need, we are at our best. We push further. We rise higher. We unlock our full potential. When we are at our best, we have more to offer the world around us. When we have the food we need, we make our communities stronger. Together, we can help everyone get the food they need to thrive. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
From rock bands playing in the parking garages to singers at the reflecting pond, you might see fewer pop-up musical performances around campus soon. UCF officials say they are tightening up, and some artists I spoke to are frustrated.
Dreams came true.
UCF freshman Nathaniel Jean Jocks loves to sing outside the student union.
I usually have my speaker with me, but today I don't have it because after 2 p.m. you can't have any amplified sound.
She says staff at multiple buildings have told her to move several times.
If they don't want me to sing here and if I'm too loud or a disturbance, I will gladly go somewhere else, but I just feel I wanted them to be truthful.
I've been told that these outlets have had their power cut to prevent students from playing inside the parking garages, and I'm going to put that to the test. Nope. No power.
So I've been working with him to get his name out there.
Jack Leventhal is the artist ambassador for the UCF Campus Activities Board. He says Jean Jocks isn't alone in her frustration.
So they've just been getting stricter and stricter each year, and it's been really hurting local artists.
Leventhal organizes music events like Riffmas to highlight UCF and Orlando artists. He says organized events give student artists like Jean Jocks both certainty and an audience.
CAB is one of the biggest student organizations on campus, so that alone could give you a lot of exposure.
Jean Jocks says she is open to getting any kind of permission she needs to sing, with or without a speaker. She just asked for clarity and consistency. At UCF, John Warner, The Charge on Air.
A spokesperson for UCF says the school is not purposefully discouraging unregistered performers on campus, but they also said they highly recommend artists reach out to the Campus Activities Board.
UCF students now have more opportunities to get involved as the school added 52 new registered student organizations this semester. Officials from the Office of Student Involvement say RSOs offer a place for students to find opportunities, purpose, and community. Some of the new clubs include the Sports Law and Negotiation Society, where students prepare to navigate the sports industry, focusing on the intersection between law and business. To form an RSO, there has to be at least 10 students with an NID email, a president and 1 officer, a consultation with NightQuest, and a constitution.
An alert for drivers on campus. Lots B1 through B4 are expected to remain closed after winter break. UCF says the project is designed to improve the conditions of the parking lots, reduce vehicle traffic near the center of campus, and enhance campus aesthetics with new landscaping and walkways. The university says the lots should reopen by mid-January. More updates will be shared at a later date.
Coming up, if you are planning on traveling this holiday season, we have a look at the travel forecast.
Plus, hockey at UCF, the club representing the university on the ice.
Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome. Prediabetes does. One in 3 adults has prediabetes, and you could be one of them. There are usually no signs for prediabetes, so it's important to understand your risk. With early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed, and you can change the outcome. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test today. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org.
We said we'd never give in to a meltdown.
Okay.
And we'd never babysit with a screen. We said we'd never let the toys take over.
Mariella!
Never leave the house looking, well, and never let them out of our sight.
Skylar, come here.
Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock.
The 2025 hurricane season was a little quieter than we expected.
Our partners at Embry-Riddle have a look back at the major storms we saw, plus a look ahead at the winter forecast.
As the 2025 hurricane season starts to wrap up, let's look at just what this season brought us. We had 13 named storms, 5 hurricanes, including 4 major hurricanes, and these are the named storms that we had this year. You'll notice Aaron, Humberto, and Melissa are some pretty big names because those were our 3 Category 5 hurricanes that we had this season, which we haven't seen since the 2005 season. Some notable points about Hurricane Melissa: it ties with the Labor Day 1935 hurricane as the strongest ever to make landfall in the Atlantic. It also had a world record wind gust of 252 miles per hour as measured by the hurricane hunters, and it also had the 3rd lowest pressure measured in the Atlantic at 892 millibars, and our sustained winds were at 185 miles per hour. This satellite image is really just devastating to look at. It was a very strong storm which unfortunately devastated the area of Jamaica. And you'll notice a little bit of a trend with our tracks of our storms. They seem to be kind of moving more eastward. It almost seemed like Florida was spared this season, and that is because of a dip in the jet stream that really acted as a barrier, moving our storms more eastward. And as we wrap up our hurricane season, we're going to be looking at our winter temperature outlook. These areas in light blue have a 33 to 40% chance of being colder than expected this season, and on the other hand, these orange areas have a 33 to 50% chance of being warmer, and that trend is very similar in our precipitation outlook. These areas up north have a 33 to 50% chance of being wetter than expected, and I want you to pay attention to this area right here. This is going to be about a 60% chance of being more dry. I know all my friends in North Florida are very worried about this very dry area, and it seems like these drought conditions are going to be continuing, unfortunately. And as we exit November and get into December and get into our final season, I wish you all a very wonderful final season and happy holidays.
Hurricane season officially ends on Monday. For more on the impacts of Hurricane Melissa, you can read more on nicholsonstudentmedia.com. Coming up in sports, Scott Frost is about to complete his first season back at UCF. What he says is the biggest struggle moving forward.
Plus, trying to break the tournament drought. The added pressure on men's basketball coach Johnny Dawkins.
Jason, let's go see your room.
What do you think? We kept it a little spare, so you can decorate it how you like.
Dinner! Go?
Excellent. Soccer is fun. Yeah, I saw you guys out there. We're the family. We're the family. Yeah! Oh, I thought you were on my team. Wait,
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire. How to control the flames. What to do with hot coals. How to secure your chains.
There's no sparks.
But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
How crazy it is at UCF right now.
UCF football is closing out its first season since welcoming back head coach Scott Frost, the same coach who led the Knights to an undefeated year in 2017. Scott Frost returned to UCF this year, hoping to recapture some of the magic from his undefeated season, but year one of his second stint has been a true rebuilding project. The Knights face growing pains and tough Big 12 matchups that haven't gone the way many expected. Still, with a 5-year deal in place, this season is only the start of a long-term plan. Scott Frost says despite the positive emotions returned to Orlando, challenges are a part of the process.
No, it's great to be back. I really do love my job. I love being in Orlando. This is a challenge, and sometimes you got to embrace the hard as you're going through it to get where you want to get.
Frost says he will look to use this year as a launch pad for a stronger second season. The Knights play their last game of the season tomorrow at BYU. UCF men's basketball head coach Johnny Dawkins is entering his 10th season with the Knights. I spoke with Dawkins about the new pressure as the team enters a 5-season NCAA tournament drought. Johnny Dawkins is now at a decade leading UCF men's basketball, making him one of the longest tenured coaches in the program's history. But this year feels different. Dawkins enters the season with no buyout attached to his contract, meaning the university could move on without owing a dollar. Dawkins says his approach and expectations haven't changed.
The expectation is not going to change for me ever. You know, till the day I retired, you know, we're always going to have a championship vision. That's in our conference and that's nationally. And I won't do it any other way. You know, when we recruit these young men, I recruit them with the highest of expectations that we can be successful at the highest level.
It's always every coach's dream to make the NCAA tournament, and UCF is no exception. Throughout Johnny Dawkins' tenure here, he's always made it his goal to make a run, and one of these banners above me belonged to his run in 2019 when they lost to Duke. Now, during this season, he has all the confidence in the world they can earn another tournament bid.
I'm excited. Our vision won't change. We have a championship vision for our league and a championship vision nationally.
Dawkins has faced major roster turnover in each of his Big 12 seasons, rebuilding the lineup year after year. While the Knights have been competitive, they haven't reached the NCAA tournament since joining the conference. Despite a new-look roster once again this offseason, one of the team's key additions, guard Riley Kugel, says the path to success starts with buying into Dawkins' system.
Having the ability to buy in and lock in every day during practice, and just focusing on what's the one thing we need and the one goal in sight that we all are wanting to achieve.
In Orlando, Andrew Cherico, The Charge on air.
Dawkins and the Knights hope this renewed focus can finally push them back towards March Madness contention. The team hosts VMI tomorrow at 1. At this time of the year, UCF has the most sports teams competing at once. But in smaller sports, they can only have clubs, and the hockey club has made big changes and improvements to their team this year. Charge on Air reporter Kamani Brown finds out what changes happened for the club despite not having the platform like the official teams.
As this year's UCF Hockey Club season approaches its winter break, it has already seen leaps of improvement from its previous years. This year's new head coach, Chris Brewster, spoke about how recruiting pure talent is only half the battle when being a new leader for a team, but also having players willing to be fully hands-on and compete as one unit.
We've got a good culture here. The guys like coming to play. And that's one of the big differences is we've got a younger core. We've got a really young core of guys. They're able to come in and battle and play every shift, every day.
The UCF Hockey Club has had major improvement this year compared to their last. Their team president and assistant captain, Carson Muller, has said the team has done more than just recruit players and add players to the ice. It's the social media team, it's their marketing, and it's their fans showing up to these games that has put the team onto another level.
This year we just have a little bit more fan base involvement. We have themes to our games, and I think that's kind of important to get fans out to our games so they can support us. Just getting fans involved and students in the know that we have a hockey team is so important. Gets them out to the game and gets them in the know of our scores, our schedule, and everything else revolving the team. So it's very important.
The social media presence and crowds have been a 7th member on the ice for this year's team and will be needed as they aim for their national tournament. In Orlando, Kimani Brown, The Charge on air.
The hockey club invites more Knights to the next key matchups of Florida Southern and FAU. That's it for sports. Back to you guys.
That's our time for right now. Thanks for joining us. Remember, you can always keep up with us during the week on thechargenews.com.
Thanks for watching and have a great day.